What's up, brothers? Ah, ah, What's up, brothers, man? You good? Let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. Check 1 2, check 1 2. DM, how's my audio, bro? Is it good?
Perfect.
Thank you very much. Awesome. So let's get more people in. If you can hear me, type on 1 in the live stream chat. Who's here with me, man? We're in for another classic, 3 back-to-back classics in a row. And tomorrow we got another stream tomorrow, and you won't believe what we got tomorrow, man. We're taking it back in time. We're going back in time for a very important city in a very important country. Okay, it's a city that it's been proven for brothers, all right. But what's the vibe now as to that city in 2025? Tomorrow, don't you miss that, okay? I be putting in work for you, brothers, man. I be putting in a lot of work for you, brothers, man. So let's get it. If you're on Twitch, shout out to Ninja Warrior. He's on Twitch right there. Shout out to my Twitch gang. If you're on Kick, shout out to you. If you're on Rumble, shout out to you. Special announcement: we will be crashing out on Rumble afterwards. Okay, so make sure you create your Rumble account and you follow me on Rumble. We're going to be crashing out on Rumble. Okay, and it's going to be an insane crash out. Okay, so make sure you follow me on Rumble. Okay, we're going to crash out on there after this stream on YouTube. So audio is great. It's a great we got the brothers here. We got Maid City. We got Aussie in the building. Aussie's in the building. Kuma's in the building. Awesome. So now, okay, let's get straight into it. All right. So you can see in the title of the stream, it says here, Filipina woman, the best in the world. Passport bros break down Manila, Philippines. I've got a very special guest here called DM, who is here to break down his experiences in Manila, Philippines. DM, how you doing, bro? You good, bro?
I'm doing awesome. May there.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. So, DM, give us a brief intro as to who you are, where you're from, and anything special about you, bro.
All right. So I'm originally from New York City. I now live in Niagara Falls, New York, and I work as a high school Spanish teacher at one of the high schools in Buffalo. I've been traveling for the last couple of years, and a lot of the good intel that we get from UIP, I try to put into practice in my travels, and it works big time.
See, thank you, man. This is the best travel channel on the whole web, right? So, brothers, don't you forget what I've done for you, brothers, man. Don't forget over the past 10 years as to what I've done and all the intel we've given you on this channel, man. Don't forget that. Forget what anyone says. Block out the noise and let's focus on us, on what we're doing, bro. Right? IT, tech, crypto, stocks, the whole 9-yard freedom. All right? Let's focus on what we're doing. We're going to keep on moving forward, man. All right? So, shout out to Ace of Spades already for the support. Appreciate you, brother. When you said that woman in Singapore, all backgrounds were checking for brothers, did you actually test that theory? Or do you believe that if they... No, he saw it there, DM. Didn't you, DM? You saw that, right? That was
I did see that, both in my personal experience as well as the personal experience of other brothers who live in Singapore.
Awesome. If they smile at you, they want a relationship?
Well, you start with a friendship, and then you go from there. You see how far you can go.
Awesome. Yo, Mr. Afrin Weeks in the building. What's up, bro? How you doing, bro? Been a minute, brother. One of my great brothers that I know. Shout out to Afrin Weeks, good brother right there. And he may call in to chime in. Trust they are well worth it if you're marriage-minded. Also, bro, Afrin, we want you to call in after, okay? And then that'll be great to hear your experiences, brother. Awesome. So, there you go. Look at that. What you said about Hamburg was correct, brother. Did you go there recently, brother? Of course, man. This channel, right? Sorry, before I know this is about Philippines, right? But I'm going to talk my issue because I think I'm too humble, right? I may be too kind in some aspects here, but it's 2025. F it. I'm crashing out on Twitch, on Rumble, and on Kick, right? I'm gonna say my mind, right, in a lot of things, right? This channel will tell you the good, bad, and the ugly. So I don't care what anyone is saying about me, all that trash talking on other channels. I don't give a damn, bro. I focus on me and my journey and what I'm building, right? Which is building wealth, and the brothers I know who are building wealth too. This channel is real life intel. Give you the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? I was in Hamburg, and guess what? Y'all saw the girls I interviewed in Hamburg, bro. I interviewed dime chicks, right? I cold approached those women for y'all brothers. Gave you real life intel, gave you streams, got other brothers to speak about Hamburg for you. Don't let anyone, right, trash talk me and say nonsense, bro. I've been for brothers first and foremost. First and foremost, bro. I'm about me. I'm about my journey. I don't care about anyone else but you brothers, this channel, and that's it, bro. And our movement, right? I told y'all about Hamburg, right? And there's also some intel that I haven't even told you brothers yet, right? Rock with me. I'm here to give you as much intel as I can. So let's get straight into it, brother. So DM, right? You were in Manila, Philippines. Can I ask you why you went there in the first place, brother? What was the reason? Why?
The reason why I went there is because I watched one of your previous videos of a brother that talked about his good times in the Philippines. And any brother that I've watched on YouTube has said nothing but good things about the Philippines. And even when I was in Singapore and I was in Malaysia and I was in Vancouver, I had people telling me that I needed to go to the Philippines.
Facts, bro. Brother, I'll tell you, right? Filipina women are something special. And it's like they are God's gifts to black men. I know that's a crazy statement, right? But hear me out, right? So we know that black men and Asian women, it's a hot and cold situation, right? But what I see constantly, right, when it comes to Asian chicks of all cultures, I'm talking East Asian, Southeast Asian, South Asian, right? Filipinas, right? They got a thing for brothers. They got a thing for brothers. I don't know what it is, but they got a thing for brothers, right? And in this stream, we're gonna break it down, bro. So DM, you were in Manila, in the heart of the country, right? Is that correct?
Yep, that's right.
So I want to know, brother, right? Like literally, let's cut the BS. Let's get straight into it, brother, right? Are these Filipinos? Actually, hold on, brother, hold on. IP, ask that question first, bro. DM, I'm gonna ask you, right, the most important question in the history of mankind, bro. It's a question, brother, that is so important, right? Even aliens in outer space know of this question, brother. It's a question so pure, pristine, and clean, brother, right? That it can even turn water into wine and wine into water. It's a question so powerful, brother. It can cause earthquakes, tsunamis, seismic shocks, seismic waves, right? It's a question so elegant, brother. It may just bring about world peace, bro. So the question is for you, DM, is, are Filipino women in the Philippines checking heavy for black men, brothers, and passport bros?
They're checking heavy for black brothers and passport bros. I can testify that from personal experience.
Oh Lord, brother, why is that in your opinion? What is it about black men and these Filipinas who are literally thousands upon thousands of miles away, right? That makes them love a brother, want to kiss a brother, want to hug a brother, want to love a brother, want to kiss a brother, want to be around a brother, brother. Pick it up for me, brother, please, brother.
Well, the thing about it is that I remember watching the experience of one Filipino girl when she was saying that when Filipinas date black guys, they feel like they're home because of the fact that there is an indigenous black group who are like the original inhabitants of the Philippines called the Aeta. And a lot of these Filipinas have black Aeta blood in them. So for them, it's normal to go after a black guy. It's like second nature.
That's crazy. That is insane, brother. Right? Whoa. So, but the thing about the Philippines is that it's a very, I know there's like a single image of them, brown skin, short, but it's actually a very diverse country ethnically, right? We have light-skinned Filipinas who are bleached, basically borderline whites. We have peanut butter brown skin chicks. Oh Lord, I love that peanut butter brown skin complexion. Oh Lord. Oh, 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 oh. You know that, right? So you've got
Mm-hmm.
that peanut butter brown skin brother, right? Then you may have women who have mixed with Chinese, Indonesian, whatever, right? Okay. So how about we break it down by complexion? I want to know, right? In your time there, how do light-skinned, white-skinned Filipinas treat brothers there? Brother, keep it a buck.
Okay. So I would say that the Philippines is very similar to other parts of Southeast Asia, in which the people with the most money in the Philippines are either those of partial European descent or those of partial Chinese descent. So one of the previous Miss Universes was part German. And it's very common to see that in Manila. Now, with that being said, between my experience that I had on the Asian dating app before I went to Manila, as well as my experiences in Manila, I had gotten the phone numbers of I had gotten several phone numbers of white skinned Filipinas on Asian dating app before I went to Manila. And then when I was in Manila, I did some cold approaching and I got the phone numbers of 2 white skinned Filipinas. So they are checking heavily for brothers. It's not just the peanut butter or the caramel complexion Filipinas.
Wonderful, 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 wonderful. So now, brother, in your time there, did you see these light-skinned Filipinos with black men?
I did see these light skinned Filipinas with black men, as well as the fact that I had 2 light skinned Filipinas approach me when I was at a mall. And this is a mall that I recommend that you guys go to when you're in Manila. It's the Newport Mall. And inside of Newport Mall, you have the Newport World's Restaurant and Casino. And there I had 2 white-skinned Filipinas approach me. One I took a selfie with and I got her phone number because she was working. The other girl, she was one of the live bachata dancers at the bar. She invited me to dance. We danced. I got her phone number and I came back to dance with her that next night.
Wow. Awesome, 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 awesome. Now, okay, so what about the brown skin peanut butter woman brother? They're checking for brothers?
Oh, they're definitely checking for brothers. No question about it. I got the phone number of a brown skinned Filipina as well, who was also dancing with me that second night that I was at the casino. And I was dancing with her I was dancing with her for like numerous songs. We sat down, we ate, and we got into a very good conversation, had a good night. She was like the perfect peanut butter caramel complexion.
Incredible, incredible. Okay, so brother, right, the title of this stream mentions that Filipina woman, the best woman in the world, question mark, exclamation mark, right? Brother,
Yep.
is that a fair statement? Do you believe that Filipino women are probably the best women in the world for black men?
I would say yes, and I will tell you the reason why. Because of the fact that the Philippines is a mostly Christian country, as well as it's the biggest English speaking country in Asia. So, because of that, and also it was a former colony of the United States. So, there's a lot of aspects of Filipino culture that it doesn't imitate the bad parts of American culture, but just the simple fact that we listen to hip hop in the States, they listen to hip hop. We listen to R&B in the States. They listen to R&B. All right. And they're very big on urban culture, just like in the States. So you don't have as much of a difference of culture that you have as a barrier, like that you would have as a barrier in, let's say, Malaysia, for example. You don't have that religious barrier either.
Whoa, interesting. So, brother, right now, I'm gonna be real with you, right? Like for me, like religion is important. Okay, it's definitely important, especially for I'm assuming you as well, and many black men. It's important, right? And
Right.
that's what puts Filipino women right very high for black men. And if we like, I think there are two main Asian women for black men. Let's keep it a buck: Filipina
Yeah.
and Japanese. Let's keep it 100%.
110% I agree with you.
Facts, bro. However, like the Japanese situation is that these women in Japan, they don't believe in God, bro. They don't believe in that higher power, bro. And brother, is that a problem for you, DM? Let's keep it a buck.
Okay, so here's the thing. I feel that no one is perfect, but I feel like when people come from a culture where they have some type of belief in God, then it's easier to find wifey in that country. But when you have a country that doesn't have that strong belief in God, and the United States is becoming that way, let's not even mention that, but you're going to have more 304s.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to have women that are very marriage minded. And part of the problem is that they'll hold on to you until they think they can get a better deal. So there's almost no loyalty.
Preach, DM, preach. Like, especially like when you deal with an atheist chick, right? You're thinking, where is her morality coming from? That's why I'll be real with you, right? And this is why like perhaps Filipino women are the best women in Asia, without a doubt, because like they believe in God, right? And you know, there's a common theme that we hear from Japanese chicks, not all, but there's a coldness to them. They can do some cold stuff to you that you weren't expecting out the blue, right?
Right.
Will a Filipino woman be as cold as a Japanese chick? In most cases, no. I'm just keeping it a buck, right? So the Philippines phenomenon is true and well alive, right? And this is awesome so far. So, Baba, we've broken down light-skinned chicks, we've broken down dark-skinned chicks, right? No, so peanut butter brown-skinned chicks. What about super dark-skinned women, right?
Oh, they want the black man even more because it reminds them of home.
Damn.
Those darker skinned Filipinas have the most Aeta blood in them. So if they see a dark skinned black guy like you and me, it's just like home.
Perfect, bro. Am I missing a different type of woman that is in the Philippines? Different type of race or ethnic group, bro?
So the thing is that I was talking to a Filipina of Chinese descent on Asian dating app before I came to Manila, but I kind of thought that she was boring, so it wound up not working out. You do have a lot of, like I said before, a lot of the white skin Filipinas usually tend to be of part European descent, and you'll see a lot of that in Manila. You do have Filipinas that are Muslim, but you're not going to find that in Manila. That's in the southern island of the Philippines, in the southern tip of Mindanao.
Perfect. Great intel so far, right? Now, brother, in your personal experience, right? Tell me, I'm guessing you went on dates out there in Manila, right? Tell me how it goes when you go on dates with Filipino women. Tell me Is it 50-50? Do you pay for food? Does she pay for you? What's the whole dating process like?
So the thing about it is that you have two kinds of women in the Philippines. You have the women in the Philippines that want you to pay for everything. And then you have the women in the Philippines that will contribute at least, if they don't go 50-50, they'll at least contribute for the tip and everything like that. So, one of the things that, in my experience, what I did was that when I was at the bar, I offered to buy the girls I was dancing with a drink, and they shared with me their appetizers. So we went 50-50 in that way. But one piece of advice that I do have for the brothers in the audience is, if you meet somebody, if you're going on a first date and it's not like you met them at the club or you met them at the casino. Let's say you met them on a dating app or you cold approach them at a mall and you're going on a first date. Make sure that for the first date, you go to a coffee shop like a Starbucks. And here's the reason why. Because you do have some Filipinas, especially in Manila, that will look at any foreigner like a walking ATM. So the way that you will know if that Filipina is truly for you or not is if you take her to a coffee shop for the first date and she doesn't complain. If you take her to a coffee shop and she's like, why is it we're not going to this expensive restaurant? Then you know that the woman just wants you for money. So that is something that you have to watch out for. Like I said, if you meet the girl in the club or the bar like I did, it's not that bad. But if you cold approach girls at the mall or on the street and you plan a first date, that's the only thing to be careful of, though. Because a lot of passport bros and foreign expats, they've made the mistake of taking the girl to a really expensive restaurant the first date, and then the girl just wants more and more and more money. So it's just a matter of making sure that whatever Filipino you're with, you set the tone as far as where you go to for a date and what you're looking for from day one.
Facts, bro. Facts. Like, I always do coffee dates, no matter where the foreign chick is from. That just filters out anything. Because if a woman really likes you, she will. It doesn't matter where you take her, she'll be happy with that, right? Coffee dates are cheap, right? They're effective. You get to speak to her one-on-one, face-to-face. If she's complaining about that, drop her. Because guess what, right? You're in her country, right? You're getting women left, right, center. You're seeing women in shopping malls. You're seeing women down the street. So even if you drop her, right, the next day you'll get another chick. Whereas I know in the West, right, you drop a chick, it may take 5 months to get another one. I know, right? But when you're abroad, it comes left, right, forward, center, right? So don't be afraid to cut off chicks for even the littlest things, man. And something like coffee, to me, that's very important to me. Coffee dates are extremely important to me. And if you don't accept that, if you have a problem with that, I'm dropping you, woman. I'll drop you faster than Stephen Curry hits a flipping 3-pointer, right, in the basketball court. Don't play with me, woman.
Right. And the thing is, remember that the Philippines was an American colony. So that is one of the most important negative aspects of American culture that you will see in the Philippines, especially in Manila, because it's the biggest city and the capital city, that materialism. So
Nice,
you
bro.
do have to be willing to say no. You have to have a business mindset when you're dating in the Philippines.
Mm, wonderful intel. So, brother, Manila, right? Is that where it's at, in your opinion, Manila?
So the thing about it is that I actually was on the Asian dating app. I was as well as on Facebook. I was sliding into DMs. There were a lot of women that I was talking to from Cebu as well as from Mindanao. So the thing is, I was in Manila for a week. To be able to go to Cebu, which is the second biggest city in the Philippines, you have to fly. You have to fly from Manila to Cebu. There's no other way. So I only spent a week. So I spent it in the Philippines. So I spent it in Manila. If I was to do things again, I would spend at least 2 weeks in the Philippines. 1 week in Manila, 1 week in Cebu. A lot of the women in Cebu are more marriage minded because they're not as materialistic. And I had some of my better conversations with women if they were either on the dating app, if they were either from the suburbs outside of Manila, or if they were from Cebu. So, what
Awesome.
I would say is if this is your first trip to the Philippines, get started in Manila just so that you get used to Filipino culture and you have like a home base to establish yourself. And then once you get used to Manila, then work your way to Cebu. And then once you've dominated in Cebu, work your way to Davao City in Mindanao.
Amazing. This is incredible intel. Wow, 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 wow. So, brother, now tell me about the personality of women in Manila, brother. Like, are these women fit, feminine, cooperative, or are there problems there?
So the thing about it is that women in Manila, for the most part, are fit, feminine, and cooperative. But because of the fact that it's a major city and American culture is the most popular in Manila versus anywhere else in the Philippines, you do have those women you do have a lot of women that are single mothers more in Manila than any other area of the Philippines. You do have they don't necessarily have the attitude of I don't need a man, but you do have the most 304s in Manila versus in any other part of the Philippines. Because traditional culture is the weakest in Manila. Anywhere else in the Philippines outside of Manila, traditional culture is the strongest and it's easier to get a wifey. I,
Mm,
I stayed at a resort near the Newport Mall in Pasig. That was part of Manila that I stayed at, Pasig, and that's where you have the Newport Mall and the Newport World's Resort and World's Restaurant and Casino. So I was staying at an apartment in that resort, and there was a lady boy and two girls walking down the street selling box, and they had like scan codes on their WhatsApp to pay them.
disgusting. Ugh,
Yes.
disgusting. Shout out to Mr. Wobby up for the support. Filipinas are our last source of true love. But brother D, what's your choice of dating apps in the Philippines? That's a great question, bro.
So I'm going to type it in the chat, but the three main dating apps that I recommend are Asian dating app. You have to pay for it, but it's worth it. I got a ton of phone numbers. Then you have Tinder Passport. And there's a lot of success with Tinder Passport. And then there's a lot of Filipinas that are on Facebook. So you can just slide into their DMs. So
Perfect.
Asian dating app, Tinder Passport, and on Facebook, just slide into their DMs. There are a lot of Filipina dating groups on Facebook that these women are a part of. And if you're interested, just slide into their DMs. The one thing that I will say, because I had this experience on Asian dating app, is that there were a couple of girls that I tried to line things up with in advance before I went to Manila, and I wasn't able to see them because they would say Manila on their dating app as far as where they were from. But when you got to conversing with them by video call and you wanted to know where they actually lived and how you can meet them, it would be in a country town that's like an hour away from Manila, like Leyte, for example. So
Perfect.
so the thing about it is that you can find true love in Luzon, which is the island that Manila's on, but plan on going to the suburbs.
Do we have to learn the language in the suburbs, or is English enough?
So English is enough, but even when I was in Manila, part of my code approach was to learn a little bit of the local language, which is Tagalog. Because one thing that worked for me is that if I saw some pretty girls walking by me in the mall or on the street, and I said to them, Magandang umaga, which is Filipino for good morning, they stopped and they smiled. So if you at least learn the greetings in Tagalog, that's going to help your code approach game 110%. You don't have to be fluent, but at least know the greetings.
Incredible. So, okay, this is great. Brother, so how did you meet women out there apart from the app? Were you code approaching? Were you going to parks, wine tasting events? Break it down for me.
So I was code approaching. I was sliding into the DMs of girls that were on Facebook, and then there is inside of the Newport World's restaurant and casino, they have live musical performances every weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I was dancing with girls and I was code approaching them there.
Perfect.
So code approaching, I've had more success with code approaching in the Philippines than I have in any other country.
Perfect. Brothers, make sure you join the Discord as well if you want to chop up with us about dating, traveling, the whole 9 yard. There's this Discord link in the live stream chat. It's very interesting on our Discord, so come and join us there. Okay, this is great intel so far. Brother, what don't you like about Filipina women?
The only thing that, and this is once you get by those chicken heads that just want free money from you. Once you've tested them out and you know that they really like you, the one thing that I would say I don't like about Filipino women is they have a little something that's called tempo. So anytime that there's a disagreement or you do something that they don't agree with, they're not going to let you know what the problem is. I had this scenario with one girl that I was talking to on the Asian dating app from Cebu, in which they stop being friendly with you, they stop being warm with you, and then it's like you're talking to them, but you know it's not the same, and they're not going to tell you directly what's wrong or what the problem is. You have to try to guess and figure out what the issue is. Like the
Mm.
thing with this girl I was talking to from Cebu, and I really liked her, but she was complaining too much about how she has to work all the time and about how life is very hard for her. So I figured out that it was her indirect way of asking me for money. And I had to be assertive with her and be like, we don't even know each other like that. I got to meet you face to face first. And if that's an issue that you can't wait, then we can go our separate ways. And of course, she didn't like it. So we had to go our separate ways.
Facts. Shout out to Black Haze here. A great point. They says here, lots of Asian women repress their feelings and issues. Yep, Japanese women are known for that. Known for the passive aggressiveness. Known for that. They won't spaz out. They won't spaz out at you like American chicks, UK chicks. They'll keep it in. Yeah. And for me, I prefer a woman who's upfront. Right. Tell me what's on your mind. Tell me your issue. And shout out to the Kick Gang. Shout out to Aussies on Kick, Black Hazes on Kick. Awesome. Shout out to Twitch, Facebook Live as well. Shout out to Rumble Gang. We're gonna be clashing out on Rumble after this YouTube stream. I got a lot to say, but this is awesome. Yeah, brother, do you hate that? The fact that a lot of Asian women keep their feelings in?
So the thing about it is, I kind of like a woman that's in the middle. You don't have to be disrespectful. You don't have to be that loca, so to speak, or that crazy woman. Just tell me in the kindest way possible and with respect what your issue is, and we can work it out. I don't want to have to try to figure out what's on your mind. It's a scenario where I want a woman who is open enough to tell me what's going on. You know what I mean? So I have spoken to other Asian women in which they would respectfully tell me what the issue was or what the problem was. So thank God not all Asian women are like that. Just a lot of them tend to be like that.
Facts, bro. But do you think that's a maturity thing? Do you feel like a woman that's 21, 22, 20 is going to be playing those kind of games, keeping it in, but a woman who's 25, 26 will actually be more boastful, and not boastful, but more explicit and more open with the issues she's facing? Or is that across all ages, brother, with issues she dealt with?
So the thing about it is that it is something that's part of the culture in which, in general, the Filipina doesn't want to be the one to rock the boat. So she'd rather allow the guy to try to figure out what is going on. Now, with that being said, I do find that once the girl is like 25 years of age or older, among women that are 25 years of age or older, there's a better chance that she'll be able to express to you in a kind way what the issue is. So it's part of the culture in general, but the older that the woman is, the better of a chance that she'll express herself as far as what the issue is, especially if she's dated foreign men before and she understands that difference of culture.
Facts, bro. Absolute facts. Great intel. Fantastic intel. So, brother, now, so let me ask this right, brother, right? Okay. So dating, right, in Philippines is literally God mode for black men. Is that what you're telling me?
It is. It is. It is God mode because of the fact that even if it doesn't work with one girl, you drop her onto the next girl. And there's so many places where you can meet the girl. You just have to be GQ, make sure you're dressed well, make sure you know the greetings in Tagalog, be confident. And it's a scenario where I had, even if you're not the best at code approaching, I had these Filipinas giving me choosing signals. So I had a lot of these Filipina girls I give me the eye, and when they gave me the eye, that's when I knew I could code approach them.
Facts. But when you say GQ, right? Like just to clarify for brothers, right? Is this like a clean cut brother who wears a suit, right? Who's very like elegant in his dressing, like a basically a GQ model for the GQ magazine? Is that what you mean?
So by GQ, it could be that you wear a suit if you want to, but also too, you can do what I did, in which I wore a nice button shirt, which was like a Hawaiian style shirt. I had dress shorts. I made sure that I had good dancing shoes because I was going to dance salsa and bachata. So if you at least have dress shorts and a nice Hawaiian shirt, you're going to be game to go. But if you dress in a suit, even better. So
Perfect.
Just don't dress thuggish is all I'm saying.
Perfect. But it's just funny how the Filipina diaspora, wherever it is around the world, whether it's in the UK, whether it's in Vancouver, I was in Vancouver 2 years ago, and yes, like the Filipinas in Vancouver, they love brothers. I actually met a black man and Filipina couple. You know what's even funny, right? I have the interview as well of this Filipina chick, right, who was from Canada, right, or somewhere in Canada, right, Filipina, with a black man, and I approached her for an interview, right? It just appears that whenever Filipinos are around the world, they rock with us, man. It's weird, man. Like whether they're in America, in the country, like they are the number one Asian woman for black men, way above Japanese chicks, right?
No doubt.
And no doubt, bro, no doubt. But what do you love about Filipina chicks? Give me several things that you love about them.
Okay. I love the fact that they either have wavy hair or curly hair. So they remind you of a Latina in that way. It's very rare to find a Filipina that doesn't have the curves of a black woman. Even the skinniest Filipina has curves. So basically, let's say that you're a brother and you're into Latinas, Philippines is the place for you. If you're a brother and you're into black women, still go to the Philippines because they carry the curves like a black woman. I love the fact that a lot of Filipinas know how to dance or they love to sing karaoke. And I love the way that Filipinas cook. So I love the lumpia. I love the pancit canton, which is the noodles. I love the fried egg and the way that they do it. I love the way that they cook. And also, Filipinas are taught to take care of their man. And they don't try to have headship over the man. They want the man to take the lead in the relationship.
Wow, incredible. All right, so let's open up the phone lines, right? Because I want to crash out on Rumble with the bro. So let's open up the phone lines. If you have any questions or you want to chime in and speak about your experience as Filipina woman, please call in. It'll be great for the brothers. All right, call in. Once again, if you want to come on the channel for an interview, send me a DM on Instagram. We'll get that done. Okay. We got very important. We got streams on Monday and Tuesday, back-to-back streams. So that'll be 4 streams in a row, starting from Friday. I told you, I'm gonna do my best for you brothers, man. I'm gonna come through for y'all, right? I'm gonna come through for you out. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. Whoa. Okay. So, let me see over here, brother. Tell me your top clubs in Manila. Okay, brother, break it down for you, brother.
So, top clubs in Manila. So, I went to the Grand Bar, which is at Newport Resorts and Mall. The majority of the women that I code approached were there, and no regrets. I had a great time. I still keep in touch with them. Also, to Dillinger's Prohibition. They have a salsa night every Wednesday night in Makati, which is a section of Manila. Then you also have the Janelo Bay Cafe, which has 3 dance lessons on bachata and tango, and it's dance night every Sunday night at the Genialo Bay Cafe in Makati. And then you have the Vice Bar Bistro, and Wednesday nights is their dance night. And then you also have the Sky Deck in downtown Manila, KAO Manila in Pasay City, which is where I stayed, the Apoteca Manila in Makati City, Secret Door in Makati City. You have House Manila at Newport World Restaurants, which is in Pasay City. And then you have the Stylo at the Palace in Taguig City. And then the absolute positive best club in Manila. I didn't get a chance to go to this club, but I'm gonna go next time. It's the No Cow Manila in Makati City. So those are great clubs to meet single Filipinas as well.
Amazing. Oh, shout out to Mr. Joe Blogs for the support. IP, will you be doing any more in-person interviews? Your German videos are some of the best. Yes, brother. Don't worry, I got some things cooking up very soon. Don't worry, brother. But yes, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Okay, I got some things cooking up. Thank you, bro, for the support. Awesome. So, brothers, the phone lines are open. We've got the StreamYard link attached to the live stream chat. So while I wait for a caller, again, make sure you join our Discord. Come check up with us. Come network with us. Come speak with us. Come be in the community with us, right? There you go. The Discord link is in the live stream chat. All right. The brother Secret Door. Okay, I'm gonna post the brothers Manila clubs in the chat. Right. So much intel, so much game for you brothers, man. Let me post it here. And Secret Door, Makati City. This is great. Absolutely great, man. Amazing. Okay.
Another thing I like about Filipinas is that they look exactly the same between the ages of 21 and 60. So they age the best out of all other women all around the world.
Facts, bro. But as you know, darker skinned women age the best. And
that's right.
Like, yeah, we love Japanese chicks on this channel, right? But, you know, I feel like paler skinned women don't age too well, right?
No, they don't.
Yeah, people say, oh, South Koreans do, but they do a lot of surgery in South Korea. I was in South Korea 2 years ago, right? And it's flipping surgery clinics left, right, forward, flipping center. There's advertisements there's advertisements everywhere saying come and do surgery on your nose and your skin. So it makes sense why they look so good, right? South Korean women, right, when they're old, because they do a lot of surgery. Now, from a natural perspective, right, darker skinned women age the best. So I'll be real with you, right? Black women age the best out of all races of women, particularly a dark skinned black woman. If she looks after herself, eats right in the gym, is healthy, she will look very good in her older age, right? And even like, you know, darker skinned black women age much better than light skinned black women. A lot of light skinned black chicks, right? They look off, man. I'll be real with you. They, after a certain age, they look ugh. But a dark skinned black chick looks amazing. Because the darker you are, the more you have melanin, the better for aging well. Filipinas in the Philippines, they dark skin, they look good, they age well. So that's also a plus, right? Like, do you really want a Japanese chick? Do you really want a Japanese chick? I'm keeping her a buck. Do you
I
really want a
mean,
Japanese? Go on, bro.
if I was to get a Japanese, I wouldn't mind a Japanese chick as long as she had Filipina in her. Because the Japanese chicks that I like the best are half Filipina or they're of Filipina descent. Those are the
Mm.
Japanese chicks that I like the best if they're part Filipina.
And you saw half Japanese, half Filipinas in Philippines.
I saw no, the last time I went to Japan, I saw Japanese women that were half Filipina.
Yep. So you know what? I actually had one on the team. It's a story for another day. But there was one that was interested. I don't know, but I think it was a language barrier. And I just got a bit frustrated and I just dropped her. But I'm just wondering if I just was patient a bit more, could it have led to something? Yeah, she was half Japanese, half Filipina. Like there's been a lot of chicks that I've dealt with that you guys just don't know. Foreign chicks that have been on my rota that I've dealt with that you guys will never know. Right? I had a half Filipino, half Japanese chick, right, on the team, right? And I don't know, man. She would do some weird things. I think it was a language barrier, and it is what it is, right? So I'm thinking back, okay, okay, all right. So that exists, okay, and I pulled her minimum 8 out of 10 out of looks. Okay, I'm doing something right. I'm doing something right, and yeah, I'm telling you, man. There's a lot of things, bro. Okay, so now let me I'll drop a chick, right? If it's just not clicking, man. I don't have time, man. Honestly, I'll drop her. I'll drop her if she tells me IP. I don't want to do a coffee date. I'm dropping her, bruv. There ain't no burger and lobster in this mofo. Ain't no flipping Nando's in this mofo. Ain't no flipping Popeyes or what's it called? You know, what's that very famous place for food in America? Brother, give me
KFC?
one, bro. No, not KFC, but like a high class restaurant.
Oh, PF Chang's for Chinese.
PF Chang's. No, we ain't doing that on the first day. I'm taking you to coffee. I'm gonna get to know you, and we're going from there. And if she says no, or she can pay, I'm dropping her, bro. Language barrier, I'm dropping her too, because communication is very important. Like it comes to a point where I don't want to talk to you over Google Translate. Either I learn your language or you learn my language, right? I move different, bro. I move different in this mofo, man. Right? And I know my value, bro. You've seen the girls I've interviewed in Germany, in Panama, in Japan, in Vancouver, right? And that's just me giving you the front-facing view. So what do you think's happening in the background? What do you think I'm putting in the background, bro? I'm telling y'all, man. I'm telling y'all. When you're on IT, bro, when you're clean cut, when you come across very well, right? When you know a bit of the language, right? And when you're abroad, it's game changer, man. I'm telling you, bro. James, if you've been Cebu, reach out to me on IG, brother. Let's get an interview done, man. If y'all been anywhere, right? Reach out to me on IG, man, because I'm here to spread the love and give brothers insight. We got Jam in the building. I'm sure Jam's gonna give us some insight on Japan. A sneak peek. Jam in the building. Let me know when you're back, Jam. Jam in the building. So, brother, tell me, brother, are there any other great clubs that you want to recommend? Like, you don't have to go for all of it. There's a lot you put in the chat, but maybe like one or two more that you like. Okay, go there, like your top clubs, brother.
Okay, so the best club in Manila is Nocao Manila in Makati City. All right, that was voted the best club in Manila, so definitely go there. I'm gonna go there next time that I'm in Manila. Also too, they got the Sky Deck in downtown Manila. I heard great things about that, so go there. and Secret Door in Makati City. Now, if you're into bachata dancing and salsa dancing like I am, I recommend going to the Grand Bar at Newport Resorts and Mall in Pasay City. Every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night, they have a live performance, and then they do salsa and bachata dancing. And then also, there's another club at Newport World Resorts in Pasay City called House Manila, and that's a good club as well. And then
Awesome.
you have the Royal Makati in Makati City and the KAO Manila in Pasay City. So you have to go to those clubs for sure.
Awesome. Fantastic, man. Jam, can I bring you on, Jam? You good? You good, Jam? Is that you, though? Can you turn your camera on in the background so I know you're not a troll? Real quick. Yep. You're good, Jam. Turn your camera off. Off, please. Let me bring in Jam, who's in Japan right now. Jam, what's up, bruv?
Yo, konnichiwa, genki desu ka?
Genki desu.
Konnichiwa.
Genki desu ka?
I'm playing, bro. I'm playing. I'm not going to speak Japanese to y'all. But
that's good, though, that you know the greetings. That's all you got to do.
I'm in Japan, so obviously I know the greetings. I was trying to actually learn it for a while, and then I gave up. But I probably should have stuck with it. I didn't realize I was going to be here so soon. But I was supposed to do this stream with IP for like years ago. Your intel is 100% spot on. In fact, it's kind of funny hearing. What's her name? What's her name? The name of the guest. Sorry, what's the name of the guest?
DM.
DM. All right. It's funny hearing your intel DM because you mentioned House of Manila, right? House Manila. I was there when that club was first opening up. They actually invited me to be their DJ when they were first opening up.
Oh my goodness! What a small world.
Yeah. So when you said House of Manila, I was like, wait, hold on. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Now, I caught the stream near the end, so there might be some things, right, that you said that you've already said. But if so, right, either just cut me off, or if so, I think it's still good intel because that means we're both saying it, and we're both two different people who went two different times. Yeah, the Philippines are great, right? The women are fantastic. The Philippines is one of the very first countries I went to because they speak English in the state country. So for a solo traveler, if you've never traveled before, right, if you're like watching these videos and living vicariously, you've never traveled for the first time, the Philippines is a great first country to visit because they speak English and it's safe. You're not going to be robbed like, if you're in Brazil or something like that. So that's the first thing with the Philippines. The women are absolutely gorgeous and fantastic. There is one problem that I have with the women, and I'm not sure if you mentioned this, but this is something that I experienced, and I think other people have experienced as well, is that the women can be a little bit desperate. Like they'll do anything they can to keep you, as well as lie. Like to give you an example, when I got there, right, part of my trip in the Philippines was a little bit disarrayed because I got with this one girl and she was like my shadow. I couldn't get her to leave. Now it wasn't a big deal because she was a great girl and like she was cool, so it wasn't that big of a deal. You know what I mean? But she ended up telling me she didn't have any kids or anything like that. That was a lie. She had a kid. And when I found out she had a kid, and she was asking me, she's like, "Oh, so do you think this could become something?" Or I was like, bro, like I told her straight up. I was like, no, it's not gonna happen because in my culture, like when you have a kid, you belong to that man. It's just not gonna happen. Like my parents would never accept it. And this girl, she pretty much told me she would give up her kid for me. Like she would essentially disown her kid for me. And that was such a turnoff. That was the biggest turnoff I had in my entire life when I heard her say that. I was like, wow. So this doesn't even feel like you just met me not even a month ago. You're willing to give up your kid for me? That is so. I feel like there's desperation in the Philippines that you wouldn't believe, unlike in other countries. Like for example, like if you go to Brazil, you being American, it helps. But if you think you're just gonna step to Brazil, say you're American and get girls, it's not gonna happen that way. However, in the Philippines, that definitely can happen. I mean, you see a lot of old dudes with the young Filipinos. Now, you as a young dude, you're gonna get a lot of play. In fact, they might not even like you because they're gonna assume if you're young, you're just gonna play them. So usually, like they actually go for the older guys. When I say older, I mean much older. I don't even mean like 40s. I mean like retirement age.
I saw that too. You're right.
Yeah, because they assume if they're our age, they're going to assume you're playing around. They're not going to assume you're going to take one of them seriously. And a lot of guys do that. You know what I mean? So those are the two biggest things I had a problem with. And then the last thing I had a problem with, which I'm not sure you mentioned, right? But this is also another thing I experienced. And I think you're going to experience, if you deal with Filipinos, you're going to experience this. There's this thing called Tampo or whatever.
Yep,
where it's
I spoke about that. Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was so weird. I did not understand that when I first experienced. Because when I first went to the Philippines, I was raw. I didn't do any research. Like now, I'm in these spaces. When I first went there, I didn't, I watched one video and I went. That was about it. So I didn't know about the Tampa thing. I didn't know. I was just like, this one, a second ago she was fine. The next day she's like not talking at all. I don't understand what happened. And eventually, after like the whole day of her moping, she eventually tells me what's happened. And apparently I was taught, it's another issue with the Philippines, which it might not be an issue. It just depends on the way you see it. But, they're extremely jealous. Like, they're extremely jealous. Like, what you might be considered harmless, like, you don't even realize you did anything, they're going to take it as jealousy, as, like, you cheating or whatever. Like, if you just look at a girl the wrong way, you don't even recognize that you did it. As a man, you just look, that could set her off. So, it's good in the sense that she likes you, and she, the fact that, if a girl's not jealous, like if she's not like protective of you, then that means she doesn't really like you. So I guess in that sense it is good, but like, it's a different level than anything I've experienced anywhere else in the world. Like, these girls get extremely jealous. The Tampo is real. So like the silent treatment is real. And and the last thing, which I'm not sure if you mentioned, was the prophylactics. They don't like using prophylactics in the Philippines.
Oh,
so if you want
to say that, but you're right.
Yeah,
I forgot. You have to be assertive about that.
Yeah, they do not and in fact, get to be extremely assertive, because this is what happened with me. So I was assertive the first time, right? The first couple of times, and then eventually she got me to not do it. And then this is the truth everywhere, but especially in the Philippines, but this is truth everywhere. Once you get with a girl and you know her intimately without protection, you can never get back. You can never go back to using protection again. It's just over. So if you want to make sure that you're safe, every single time, like even the one time, because then she's gonna tell you, well, we already did it once before, so why not again? Like they just don't like it. Like they think it's like the devil. Like they're a very religious. You'd be surprised that the Philippines is one of the poorer countries in Southeast Asia, but their churches are huge. They spend a lot of money in their churches, and that just lets you show how much what they put their effort towards. So they're very religious people, and so they look at these prophylactics. They look at like condoms and all that stuff. They look at that like it's Satan, like some 1930s Satan, just some really bad stuff. Even the ones who are more educated, like they know, they still don't like it. They still look at it as like tabooish. Mm-hmm. So, and I just thought that from my end, I thought it was crazy, because I'm like, bro, I just met you, and you want me to just go raw? Like, I don't know if you have any. Yeah, but. So yeah, that's the reason why the single mother rate in the Philippines is very high. So if you're with a girl, the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure she has a kid or not. So my thing is pretend like you like kids, like literally lie, and pretend like you like kids, like low key, like lie about it, like as if you'd be disappointed if she didn't have a kid, because then she'd be more likely to tell you. Because like I said, that girl that I was with, she told me she didn't have a kid until much later. I guess she was hoping that I would fall in love with her, and then she could tell the truth, and that wasn't going to work, obviously. So, and this I wasn't the only one who's experienced this. I've heard this from many other people. So, I do think the girls in the Philippines are just, in general, from all of Southeast Asia, are more desperate than other girls, in my opinion, because they're willing to do far more to hook you in than other women. But they are. There's a reason why Black people love Filipinas. So. I'm definitely going back. I'll actually be going back to the Philippines after Japan. So I'll give you an update after 3 years of me being there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Definitely let us know if you find any Filipina Japanese there too. That's like a rare Pokemon, but they are there in Tokyo and Osaka.
I'm looking for the Japanese Brazilians, man. I speak Portuguese now, so that's what I'm looking for, bro.
Okay, that one too.
I'll let you know though I'll let you know if I find one. If I see one in the wild, I'll let you know.
All right.
How long have you been in Japan for so far, Jan?
About 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks.
Okay, stay on the line, brother. Let me just bring in Holy Heart. Holy, can you turn your camera on in the background, Holy Artist? I know you're not sure. Yeah, you confirm. Thank you, brother. So turn your camera off. Let me bring in Holy Hearted. I'm also go back to Jam about his Japan experience so far. We won't go too long into it though for Japan. What's up, Holy Artie? You good?
Hey, IP, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, brother. How are you? You good?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. You know I'm active in the Discord.
Yes, sir. Fire away, brother. What do you want to say about Philippines, bro?
Oh yeah, no, I'm really interested in joining the Philippines because I actually met a friend who's in Vancouver right now, and he was telling me he's Filipino. He wants me to like travel with him to the Philippines and to stay at his family place just to visit and things like that. So I'm definitely really interested in. I am on a trip on Vancouver right now, and I gotta say, IP is not what I expected. It's not what I expected.
Wow.
So, hopefully, hopefully I could try something else.
They ain't no Filipinas there to save the trip for you, brother, in Vancouver.
um, I haven't ran across them yet. I don't know if they're in. I don't think they're in downtown. I may have to go to like the other areas. Maybe have to go to probably Surrey or Burnaby, those type of areas. But I'm still looking.
Can you go to Kitsilano? Kitsilano? Have you been there yet?
No, no, I haven't been there.
Okay, go to Kitsilano, right? Go to what's that spot called again? If you can go to the North Shore, that's where the Iranian chicks are in Canada, North Shore, Northern Vancouver. Take the cable line to North Shore, be like half an hour, 40 minutes to get there. Do that, please. And go to you've been to Barnaby Street, right?
Yeah, I've been a little bit to Burnaby. That's where I actually met I actually surprisingly met a Lebanese girl there.
Was she checking?
Oh yeah, yeah. I did well with her, but it's I think what I got confused and everything about is I thought like based off of the previous streams that all the guys that went there is I thought people were just gonna come up to me or like you're just gonna have people just come up to you like you're you know just things like that. But I see Vancouver is different, so you know
Got a
I
got a cold approach, bro. But so that Lebanese chick, right? Did you cold approach her? Or was that the apps?
that one I met online, Tinder.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, and then she was really good. I gotta be honest.
Is
And
that
I'm gonna
is
give
that
y'all
is that, is that sorry,
tip.
bro? Is that non PG stuff, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay,
Nice.
Yeah, she
so
was she was good. She was the only one. So I've been here for a week, so she was like the only one that gave me what I wanted.
okay,
Future
brother,
Patreon.
stay on the line there, Holy Hearted. Stay
Yes,
online,
sir.
please. Because you're doing Vancouver. I think you need to watch the streams again because like and you have to put a lot more into cold approaching. Cold approach, and put yourself out there, bro. That's why I did, and I got massive success. Jam, over to you, bro. Right? In your 2 weeks there in Japan so far, are the women checking? Are you seeing black married Japanese chicks? But like, be real with me. Keep it 100%. In the channel, we keep it real and raw.
Yeah, man, I've noticed, man. I feel like every time I check out a new country, like, and I know this is a complete coincidence, but I've just noticed every time I check out a new country, you start to bash the country I go to. Like, for example, when I decided to go to Brazil, I saw you making videos bashing Brazil, and then I decided to go to Japan, and you're like, Japan ain't it. I see some of the issues you're talking about Japan not being it in terms of finding wifey, but in terms of like just having fun, oh, Japan is where it's at. In terms of just having fun,
Mm,
Japan's where it's at. Now, if you're talking about the wifey set, like it's looking like an Asian America, low key. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm surprised with some of the things I'm seeing. But in terms of just having fun, oh yeah, it's where it's at. I mean, it's actually reminding me a lot like honestly, it's reminding a lot like Bangkok, Thailand, in terms of the amount of foreigners and all that. Because I'm not even mainly dealing with the Japanese too much. I'm dealing with all the other foreigners that are here in Tokyo. So I haven't dealt
oh,
with too many Japanese chicks. I've dealt with mainly other foreigners because I didn't fall through with my Japanese. So So my Japanese is still at a basic level. So I got the Korean chick, believe it or not. I just think it depends on what you want. But I mean, Tokyo is a global city, so like, and there's so many foreigners, there's so many tourists there. Like, you can just, and there's so many things to do. In fact, there's actually, what's so funny? I don't want to say this. Let me not put this on the stream. I'll DM you this. But yeah, no, if they're checking. But if you're talking about Japanese women, I haven't gone with the Japanese chick yet, so I wouldn't know. Like, I haven't gone with a strictly Japanese chick. Like, not yet.
When you said it's like an Asian America, but what does that mean? Are you telling me like you're seeing some crazy things there in Tokyo from Japanese women?
Look, I just like the kawaii. I think a lot of people go to Japan because they want the kawaii type of anime schoolgirl, good-looking type of, like nice, caring type of chick, and that just, there's a lot more. Like, there's more tattoos than I would have definitely have seen in Japan. I mean, there's not that many, but there's more than I would have. I thought like no one has tattoos in Japan. But that's not the case. So they exist. There's also that standing phenomena. There's like, there's just a few things that you're seeing. Like, it's just, I expected it to look a lot more like Vietnam, actually, like a lot more clean. But it's just not. It's not like how your streams were 4 years ago. Let's just put it that way. But it's still, I'm enjoying it. It's still very fun. It's not somewhere where I think I could stay long term, like Brazil. But it's a great trip. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, you're right, Jam. And I saw some cracks in the surface last year, and that's why I got the Exposed in Japan series I'm working on. I told you, brothers, you got 10, 15 years max top. See, even mentioned it. These women are now wearing tattoos. Back in the day, literally 5 years ago, that was a no-go. In fact, before COVID, right, that was a no-go. There's no way you would see Japanese women wearing tattoos, but I'm seeing women with tattoos here and there, right? I feel like America has succeeded in poisoning Japan. And you got 10, 15 years tops to find wifey, whatever, and, build a traditional life. I think after 15 years, Japan has fallen, bro. That's how I feel. And they're pushing feminism hard in Japan. Super duper hard. Good luck, right? Good luck. Damn. And say, brother, say, Jam. Do you know how bad it is? There's a song by Megan, the trash rapper, right? I think it's called Bokuwa Star or something. It's some garbage song, right? And that was burned off on social media. Japanese chicks, just a promiscuous, dancing like Megan, the rapper from America, doing some, crazy dances, singing that song. Jab, break it down for you, bro. Man. I was right, my intel.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like, I didn't assume you were wrong, but like, it just depends on what you want. You know what I mean? So some people are going there for that reason. So if you're going there for that reason, you want the age of persuasion. I mean, you're going to find that in Tokyo. You're going to find all of that. But what I'm saying is that cute kawaii, and this is kind of what I was alluding to before in those previous streams. So I kind of like, in the sense of like, it takes a lot of investment on our language. Like, I just did it learning Portuguese. I mean, I'm not fluent, but I'm pretty advanced. And so I'm like, if you could put all this effort to learn, you better make sure that it's a place you want to stay at. Because I can only imagine someone puts all this effort to learn Japanese and they come out here expecting to find like, you know what I mean? Like all that work. Because I just think about, oh man. So that, but I mean, I still just think Japan. I mean, look, for example, the tattoos, there's still way less far less girls with tattoos in Japan than in America and even Brazil. I mean, it's not even close. It's just like I was expecting to see any. So the fact that I saw, a few, I was surprised by that because I know there's certain places you can't go to Japan with tattoos. Like you can't go to certain bathhouses if you have a tattoo. So I'm surprised why they would even get it if it barred them for certain areas. But I still go ahead.
No, you go.
No, I still think Japan is like, I agree with you on the whole 10 to 15 years thing. Like, I agree with you on that. And this is the reason why I'm like, unless you like are really going to ingratiate yourself in that culture, if you're just learning Japanese because you think the women are nice or whatever, like, don't do it for that reason. Like, don't do it for that. Like, unless you like Japanese culture and you can see yourself, because I'm not going to lie, this is one thing I will say about Tokyo. Tokyo is the best, like, if picking the people out, Tokyo is the best city, period. Like, it has the 7-Eleven, it's crazy. The stuff you have here in Tokyo. I mean, it is the most futuristic city I've ever seen. It's ridiculous. And I've been to some very nice cities.
best city in the world by far that I've been to, Tokyo. Different world, and if we learn the language, right? Also for business too, because Japan is still the fourth biggest economy in the world. There's opportunities there, right? The woman should be a bonus for you, right? There's opportunities there that I think that it will be there for the next 20 years. You learn the language, you meet the right people, you can get really, really rich there in Japan if you know what you're doing, right? So now, Jam, are you seeing women with like booty shorts, like crop tops, right, in Tokyo, and the Japanese? Keep it real.
Yeah, but okay. So I see what you're saying, but this is gonna sound so hypocritical, but I just think it's true. I'm not gonna lie. I think for certain women, like they can get away with it than others because it's like they don't have much to show. So like, although I get it, like I understand it's bad, but like it doesn't feel too tacky to me because they're not really showing much because they don't really got much to show. But yeah, they exist. They're there, but it just doesn't feel as like tacky as in the U.S. Because in the U.S., like all that booty meat is showing and all that. They don't do that here in Japan. Like they ain't doing that.
Jam,
So,
Jam, can you stay on the line, brother? How about maybe over to Rumble? Because I feel like you're restricting a little bit, and I don't blame you. Could be on YouTube. Do you mind staying on, brother? So we go on to Rumble where you can speak a bit more freely. It won't be a Japan stream, but let's talk about maybe for another 5 minutes. About like you said, you wanted to DM me something. We can talk about it on Rumble. How's that sound, bro?
Yeah, that works. Yeah, that works.
Okay. So Holy Hearted, Jam, DM, stay on the stream and now move over to Rumble. So brothers, we're going over to Rumble right now, okay? Because we are going to talk about some sensitive topics. We're going to crash out, swear. So we're going to do that on Rumble. So I'm going to post a Rumble link on the chat, right? Make sure you create your account on Rumble and make sure you follow me on Rumble and make sure you get on Rumble right now because we're going to move over to Rumble. We're going to end the streams on YouTube. We're going to end it on Kick and on Twitch and Facebook. We're going to move over to Rumble so we can speak about some real ish right there, okay? So if you just joined, we're going to move over to Rumble literally right now, okay? I'm going to give you a minute. DM, Jam, Holy Hard, get some water. I'm going to give the brothers 2 minutes, so take a quick break. So Rumble, are you there, DM? You good?
You got it. I got my bottle of water with me right now.
Okay, Jam, I know it's hot over there in Tokyo, right? So get some water too, bro. Rumble crash out up next, okay? So we're going to Rumble, okay, right now, okay? The Rumble link is in the YouTube live stream chat, okay? And we're going to move over to Rumble to talk about some things that we can't speak on YouTube, and then we'll go back to the Philippine stuff, okay? All right. So it's just interesting when we all love Japan in this channel, but again, I'm not here, and this is why I deserve a lot more respect on this platform, right? I'm not here to sell dreams to anyone. And I appreciate Jam coming on here, speaking that truth and Holy Hard about Vancouver. Like, if I was a guy, right, who wanted to sell lies and dreams, I'd be taking off Jam off the live stream. I'd be taking Holy Hard off, right? And I'd be pushing out a certain narrative. Okay, go there. It's the best ever. I'm going to give you, brothers, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Real time, right? I'm going to give you the truth and nothing but the truth. Okay? Holy Hard is having some hard time there in Vancouver. We're going to talk about it a bit more on Rumble. Okay, that's cool. Give him some advice. He'll come back, give us more game. We may do a stream. I'm here to get everyone's story out. Okay? That's why, brothers, like, appreciate what we do on this platform here. You get the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? Of every single situation and every country. Now, Japan loved on the channel, right? And I told y'all, right, when I went there last year, I had a great time, but I saw some cracks in the surface, right? If I was a bad person, right, trying to sell you a dream, I would have never mentioned that. I would have lied to you, oh, it's the best country ever, go there, blah, blah, blah. But I told you off rip. Japan is looking a bit finicky in the next 10, 15 years. I told you about South Korea, right? I thought that went terrible for me. And I told you my South Korean experiences. If I was a bad person or trying to sell you a dream, I would have lied and said, hey, oh, go South Korea. It's the best country ever. No, it's not. I had a horrible time there. Now, for a different brother, it might have been amazing. But for me personally, I flopped. That's it. In South Korea, I flopped. I'm keeping her a buck. The women weren't checking for me. They weren't. And I told y'all that truth, bro. I ain't lied to y'all. I told you off rip. So 1 more minute. When the clock each reaches 1 hour 20 minutes on my countdown on my stream over here, we're gonna end the other streams on all the other platforms, and we are all moving over to Rumble. Okay, so get onto Rumble right now. Create your account on Rumble. Follow me on Rumble. Okay, make sure you follow me on Rumble, Kick, Twitch, Facebook, the whole 9 yard, right? Because we're gonna give you brothers the real game. Okay, so if we got over 60 people watching on YouTube. I want the YouTube mandem. I want the YouTube brothers, right, to move yourselves over to Rumble right now. Okay, so we are now reached the 1 hour 20-minute mark. I'm going to end the stream right on Facebook first. So shout out to the Facebook bros. Take yourself over to Rumbles. Appreciate you for supporting me on Facebook. Okay, I'm going to end the stream right now on Twitch. Shout out to the Twitch bros. I'm going to end the stream right now on Twitch. Okay, I'm going to end the stream right now on Kick. So if you're on Kick, move over to Rumble, please. Okay, and if you are on YouTube, right? YouTube people, over 60 people on YouTube. I'm going to end the YouTube stream, and I'll see y'all